Ayan, hello everyone. Before I start my presentation and also the webinar, no, I'd like to check with our attendees if you clearly see my screen and also mas naririnig ninyo ng maayos ang aking audio. Kindly type in number 1 sa ating chat box. Number 1 sa ating chat box. Yan, we have Sir Mark. Some other teams namin na nandito din, we have Maylene, we also have Maria. So keep it coming lang guys for those who have insights and also thoughts sa ating webinar. All right, so once again, hello everyone and good evening to all of you. So thank you for spending your Wednesday evening with us by attending this webinar entitled Pilot Your Portfolio to Prosperity with First Metro Securities and First Metro Asset Management Incorporation. So this webinar, you will learn more about the market outlook, the strategy, and different investment options. All right, so to introduce myself, I am Isnaira Dirampatun, but you can call me Tara for short. I am the Mindanao Business Development and Market Education Associate from First Metro Securities, the stock brokerage house of the Metro Bank Group. So for those mga newcomers, no, actually our company is dedicated to financial literacy and creating awareness of different investment opportunities that both empower our individuals, institutions, to attain their financial goals. We envision to be the largest and most trusted Philippines investment solutions partner. So it's my honor and pleasure to serve you today as your host. Okay? So ayan, so as you can see on your screens, no, just like this event, we used to conduct financial and investment literacy seminars both on-site and face-to-face. So dito sa screen, as you can see, ito yung mga recent namin, I think second half of 2023, no? So however, due to the challenges that we have before, for example, yung pandemic, we shifted to a webinar format. At the same time, we are regularly invited and collaborate with different public sectors, no, at the same time yung mga academic institutions, that's just like yung mga universities or colleges and even private companies. So it's amazing how technology together with social media as well to add value wherever we are located. Okay? Ayan. So I think some of you, no, may mga nakikita akong mga repeat attendees from our past webinars and also welcome, no, and thank you for supporting our webinars as well. Okay, for this one, this is just a data for stock market investor profile here in the Philippines. So this is a 2022 data from PSE. So for this one, Philippines, yung population natin medyo malaki na siya. It's over 100 million. So out of that, meron tayong 1.7 million for the total stock market accounts. And out of that, meron tayong 1.2 online accounts. So around 75% are locally employed and there has been gaining interest from overseas Filipino workers and even students. So the majority are still from Metro Manila at 81.5%. But the rest of the country has yet to catch up. So if you have friends and family over in Luzon, no, it's around 10.7%. In Visayas is 3.7%, and in Mindanao is 2.5%. Actually, here in Mindanao area, no, specifically here in Davao. So actually, let me ask din yung ating attendees, no? Do you have a stock trading account or investment account already? So can you type in yes or no sa ating chat box? Okay. Ayan, we have, hi, good to see you again, Sir Leandro. We also have Gia. We have June. We have Maria. So far, wala pa ako nakikitang no. So it's a good news for us. And for those existing investors naman, and even those not yet investing in both stock market investing and investment account na ibang options, no? This will be a perfect webinar for you as we will discuss more about that. So that is why we have a guest speaker, no, that we have invited. So these are mga experts natin. So our guest speaker is from First Metro Asset Management Incorporation to share and discuss more about that. So the speaker for today's webinar is the Fixed Income Portfolio Manager of First Metro Asset Management Incorporation. He handled the fixed income mutual funds, both dollar and peso denominated, including the FI portion of balance funds. He has over 10 years of experience in the fund management industry as a fixed income fund manager in the Security Bank Trust and Asset Management Group and as a trader in RCBC Trust and Investment Group. He graduated with an honorable mention from De La Salle University, Manila in 2012 with a bachelor's degree in physics and a minor in finance. He is also a CFA charter holder since 2018. So without further ado, let's all welcome Mr. Reginald Reyes. Hi, Sir Reggie.
Hi, Tara. Good evening. Thank you for the kind introduction. Let me just share my screen. Can everyone see my slide?
Yes, Sir Reggie.
Okay, so again, I am Reggie Reyes, the fixed income portfolio manager for First Metro Asset Management, Inc. And I'm here to present a quick market review and outlook for 2024. So to start the year, equities has provided positive returns with the Philippine Stock Exchange Index currently trading at a range of around 6,850 to the 6,900 level, posting a return of around 6 to 7% year to date from its 2023 year-end level of 6,450, which already exceeded the full year performance for 2023 of negative 1.8%. And in fact, the Philippine market is one of the best performing markets in the region, only outpaced by Japan and Vietnam in terms of year-to-date returns in their respective local currencies. And for Japan, it actually surpassed its all-time high of 38,915, a mark set 34 years ago, which was powered mainly by semiconductor-related stocks as strong earnings results fueled optimism and demand from foreign investors. And this is actually also the case for the Philippine market, where foreign investors have been net buyers so far, with 2024 year-to-date net foreign inflows of $198 million as of February 2023. February 23, sorry. This is a significant improvement compared to the previous years, where the market registered net foreign selling of 53.67 billion in 2023 and net foreign selling of 68.05 billion in 2022. The increased demand from both local and foreign investors is also fueled by cheap valuation, as the Philippine market had been trading close to 2 standard deviations below its historical average PE of around 16 times, even reaching a low of 9.47 times PE. And despite high inflation and external pressures last year, the Philippine economy posted positive fourth quarter GDP growth of 5.6%, only outpaced by Vietnam, posting a 6.7% return in the fourth quarter among its neighbors. And the Philippine economy actually finished strong last year with a full year GDP growth of 5.6%, outpacing major economies in Asia, such as China, with 5.2% GDP growth, and Vietnam at 5%, Malaysia 3.8% based on the latest available data. And even though inflation has been trending downwards in the last few months, with the latest print in January posting 2.8%, there's still actually some headwinds in the near term that may cause it to go above the BSP's target range of 2 to 4%, such as rising crude oil prices, where we've seen the Brent crude oil spot price averaging close to the $80 per barrel because of heightened uncertainty about global oil shipments as attacks to vessels in the Red Sea intensified. Also, ongoing risks of supply disruptions in the Middle East also create potential for higher crude oil prices moving forward. And although we expect crude oil prices to rise into the mid $80 per barrel range in the next few months. We do expect it to come down in the second quarter of 2024 as global oil inventories generally increase during this time period. We have also seen rice prices skyrocket to levels not seen since 2008, thanks largely to India's rice export ban, as well as the impact of El Nino. And with those concerns far from being allayed, we may have to deal with prolonged and possibly severe rice price inflation in 2024. We do, however, see some efforts in the government to alleviate these pressures, such as the recent agreement with Vietnam to secure rice supply over the next 5 years, as well as some efforts to increase productivity in the rice sector, including the distribution of drought-resistant seeds to our farmers. In terms of interest rates, the BSP kept their policy rates unchanged at 6.5% in their last monetary board meeting in February. And they have noted that the outlook for inflation was broadly intact, with their latest risk-adjusted inflation forecast for 2024 slightly easing to 3.9% versus their 4.2% in their previous meeting in December. And for 2025, they have adjusted their inflation forecast to 3.5% from 3.4% in their previous meeting. While the risks to inflation have receded, the risk also remains tilted toward the upside, with some of the risks to upside inflation are mainly higher transport charges, increased electricity rates, and as discussed, higher oil and domestic food prices, as well as some additional impact on food prices of a strong El Nino episode. And in terms of policy rate cut, the BSP will most likely move after the Fed as they continue to keep a healthy interest rate differential with US policy rates in order to protect the local currency. So for the Fed rate cut, expectations of an early rate cut have tempered in the last few weeks, with the probability of a March rate cut plummeting almost close to 0% actually, from close to the 80 to 88% at the start of the year. This was mainly due to higher than expected inflation in the US, where the prints were at 3.4% and 3.1% in December and January, compared to consensus of around 3.2 and 2.9%. Core inflation remains at 3.9% for both months, which was higher than expected with consensus at 3.8% for December and 3.7% for January. So this has moved the expectations of the first Fed rate cut from March to possibly June at the earliest. So in terms of the local fixed income market, compared to 2023 year-end levels, we have seen yields rise by around 20 to 30 basis points across the whole curve, as expectations of an early rate cut have diminished. But overall, rates are generally lower versus the previous highs we've seen in 2022 and 2023, especially in the long end of the curve, as the thesis of lower interest rates due to slowing inflation remains intact. So can 2024 finally be a breakout year for the Philippine market? So there are actually several catalysts for the Philippine market to break out, one of which is strong remittances. Personal remittances from Filipinos abroad reached an all-time high last year, amounting to $37.2 billion, up by 3% from the $36.1 billion seen in 2022. The robust inward remittances reflected the rise in the deployment of OFWs due to continuous increase in demand for foreign workers in the different host countries. And remittances are expected to remain healthy in the near term, as dependence of OFWs will require more funds to cover for the higher cost of goods. We also continue to see strong household consumption, with household consumption growing year-on-year by 5.3% in the fourth quarter of 2023. This was a deceleration compared to the 7% growth registered in the same quarter for the previous year. And for the whole year of 2023, household consumption grew by 5.6%, slowdown from the 8.3% growth seen in 2022. And do note that household consumption represents around 72.1% of the nominal GDP. And even though we've seen net foreign buying in the recent months, foreign ownership remains low compared to previous historical levels. And this suggests that there is still potential volume coming in from foreign investors, providing more momentum for the Philippine equities market to continue to go up. And also, we've seen a recovery in the tourism industry. According to the data monitored by the DOT, a total of around 5.4 million international visitors entered the country last year, of which 92% were foreigners, roughly around 5 million visitors. And this is actually 650,000 higher than the 4.8 million international visitors projections for 2023. And the top visitors were from South Korea, United States, Japan, and China. So comparing to broker estimates, we expect the PSEI to end in 2024 between the 7,100 to 7,400 level, and average GDP growth for 2024 will be close to the 6% level. And in terms of policy rates, we expect the BSP to reduce their policy rates by 100 basis points, or 1%, for both 2024 and 2025, bringing the policy rates to 5.5% in year-end 2024 and 4.5% in year-end 2025. So to summarize, for the equities market, we continue to see the PSEI ending in 2024 to around the 7,100 to 7,400 level, posting a possible upside of around 10 to 15% for equities in 2024. The growth will be led mostly by banks and conglomerates due to improvements in margins. And in terms of sector preference, actually, we prefer stock selection to outperform the benchmark. But we do note that there is still some volatility to be expected in the first half of the year, mainly due to inflation concerns, the direction of policy rates, as well as some ongoing geopolitical uncertainties. And then for the fixed income market, we continue to have a positive outlook for fixed income, as rate hikes are no longer in play. Worst case, policy rates may remain in status quo, but returns will be generally coming from accruals. We do still expect interest rates to trend lower in 2024, as central banks are expected to cut policy rates. However, the magnitude and timing will be highly dependent on the trajectory of inflation moving forward. And in terms of the yield curve, from its current flat state, we do expect yields to steepen or normalize in 2024, as the short end to the belly of the curve, which is mainly the 1 to the 5 year tenor, will be expected to decline more versus the long end, as possible rate cuts are already being priced in the long end of the curve. And that's it for my presentation. Thank you.
And thank you so much, Sir Reggie. Actually, he was sharing about the market outlook and strategy. I think we have one more speaker from FAMI. We have Ms. Ruth Chaneco for the funds naman under the FAMI. Ms. Ruth?
Okay. Thank you so much, Tara and Reggie. Thank you for giving us a clear market update. Good evening to everyone. Okay, so today I'm going to share the fund recommendations based on the insights that Reggie shared earlier. Okay, so we see that it's time also to be aggressive in terms of your portfolio. However, as we see from our participants, most of you have a lot in your stock selections in your portfolio. So it's also a good opportunity for you to add or allocate a portion of your active income into passive income by investing in what we call mutual funds or these managed funds. Okay, so I'm going to talk about three equity laced funds. The first one is the Save and Learn Equity Fund. What Save and Learn Equity Fund is provides an expert and efficient active management of the funds where our fund managers carefully select the stocks based on strong valuations and therefore giving you a cost efficient and risk efficient diversification in your portfolio. And later on, I will talk about the composition of these funds. The second one would be one of the things that I also took from Reggie's insights would be the growth of the household consumption. Although he hasn't particularly highlighted a sector, but it's also good to know that 72% of our GDP is mainly contributed by the consumption. Okay, so Filipinos, we are a we are consumption driven. Okay, and that contributes also not only to the companies but also to our economy. And therefore, we recommend the First Metro Consumer Fund. And we also select the consumer staple companies here and consumer discretionary companies which would benefit on the growth potential of our economy. And the last one is the Save and Learn Focus Dynamic Fund. Okay, so we introduced this early 2022, which means that as a dynamic fund, it allows the fund to do tactical asset allocation between stocks and also bonds. However, there is no limit. It has a flexible limitations in terms of how much it can put in stocks section and also in the bonds. That means it can take advantage on the opportunities on both the equities and also the fixed income side, depending on the market conditions and also how our fund managers see where the market is going. Now, these are what we recommend for investors who have investment horizons of 5 years and beyond. Okay, so for those who are investing in stocks, who does day trading, a year, 3 or 5 year of investment horizon, that would be beneficial if you monitor your portfolio on a regular basis. But as I said, it's also important to put a portion of your income or your portfolio that you do not actively manage. Now, I'm going to talk about the composition for the Save and Learn Equity Fund. And if you go to the your accounts, you will find the term SALEF, Save and Learn Equity Fund. Currently, it's at 4 billion pesos, and the volatility, annualized volatility is 15.63. The top 5 holdings, okay, of the fund is SM BDO, SM Prime, BPI, and also Ayala Land. And currently, the portfolio's composition is at 98% because our fund management team is more aggressive this time. Okay, so that's why they're allocating more. So for just for background, for mutual funds, there is a maximum of 95% equities allocation, and there's always a portion for the cash. Okay, so there's always cash position for us to also service redemptions and other liquidity events. The next one is, so in your SALEF, by the way, we also invest a lot in the financials and also in the property. Now, for the First Metro Consumer Fund, its main difference would be in the top holdings. It composes about 50% of the portfolio in Jollibee, Century, Bloomberry, Monday, and also Wilcon. And right now, it's at 95% in equities. And lastly, self-focus. So that's the term in your platforms. The volatility is a little bit lower as compared to your Salef and First Metro Consumer Fund. And its top 5 holdings is on BDO, BPI, Metro Bank, ICTC, and also Aboitiz. Okay, so right now, as I mentioned, it may be registered as a balance fund. However, it is a dynamic allocation fund. So therefore, it has no limit on how much it can invest in equity. So our fund management team believes on the equity side at this point. So that's why they're increasing the position in the Sal focus. So there you go. Now, this is just a quick picture of how long people would invest in these equity laced funds. So for instance, the Save and Learn Equity Fund. So you can invest on a 10, 8-year horizon, or a 3-month or a 2-year horizon. Definitely you would be able to benefit, okay, because the only thing that you would consider here is buying low and selling high. Okay, you're not thinking about trading. You just need to watch what is happening in the market, and look at investment opportunity events, okay, especially based on the forecast that Reggie was able to share earlier. Okay, so the if the forecast, or if they believe that it will end at 7,100 to 7,400 level, and right now we are at 6,800, 6,800 something level. So there is still an upside for you when you start investing. So there's no timing component here, but you can always consider investing in these funds at the most opportunistic time. Now, I just want to compare the three funds in terms of your consideration. So you don't need large sum of money or millions and billions of pesos to compose your portfolio. Okay, so for the Sal Focus, it's 5,000, same for Salef and FMCF. And the minimum additional investment is 1,000 pesos. I believe for the clients, our clients in FMSBC, the entry fee is 0%. Now, the holding period for this one is 6 months, okay? But I would highly recommend to invest here in the long term, because these are the funds that you will invest in. Remember, your money will passively earn, or you're not going to actively trade from these funds. Okay? So therefore, I would recommend to put your money, if you have certain goals over the long term, to put your money in FAMI mutual funds, okay, and begin accumulating from there. Now, this is just a comparison of, there was a question earlier, okay, but this is a comparison of the PSEI versus the performances of our equity lace funds. So there's a day-to-day, and you also have a year-to-date and a 1-year performance. And you would see that First Metro Consumer Fund may be more volatile sometimes than your Save and Learn Equity Fund. But the least volatile, as we also saw in the previous slide, is the Sal Focus, because of its likelihood that there will be a fixed income, okay, or there will be some more cash position, okay, depending on the view of our fund managers. However, I just want to also make sure that we are clear in terms of Salef. Salef is more diversified in terms of the industry versus your First Metro Consumer Fund that is focused on a sector. Okay? And now I'd like to also pinpoint that we don't need to wait and accumulate a large sum of money before we can even actually invest for our goals. Okay? So take, for example, an individual who save up, put his money probably in savings, and then begin investing, okay, or probably choosing the right stock or right mutual fund for him after 10 years. While the other one doesn't have that much money, so what he does is just take out 2,500 from his income every cut off and invest it regularly. Nothing to consider about the timing. Okay? Not timing in the market, but just timing in his salary. Diba? So after 10 years, this is between 2009 to 2019. So this is a pre-pandemic numbers. And you will see here the difference in the growth story. okay, and how this individual's portfolio has prospered after 10 years. And we're not saying that you put all, okay, of your money here, but you see, when you invest on a regular basis, okay, so not even just considering the timing component, you are actually taking advantage of the prices, whether it's low or high. You're simply accumulating, okay. And the good thing is that if there are a lot of low events, then you also take or you also participate in there. Okay, so this is just a story that I want you to take a picture on. Imagine yourself, this is your retirement fund. This is your probably your funds if you are moving to another country. Okay, so we recommend that for accumulation for particular goals. Okay, so instead of just putting them in savings, accumulate in a managed fund, accumulate in FAMI, equity funds like SALEF, First Metro Consumer Fund, and Save and Learn Focused Dynamic Fund. So there, thank you very much, Tara.
Thank you so much, Miss Ruth. No, actually, medyo maganda yung presentation ni Ma'am because more on the funds actually under FAMI that you can invest using the First Metro Securities na trading platform. All right, let me just share back my screen. Okay, ayan. So right now, no, we'll be having a short break for the speakers para before the live Q&A. And for our attendees, if you have questions sa presentations nila, feel free to put in sa ating Q&A. I know meron tayong questions, pero at this time, I'd like to take this opportunity as well to share a couple things on behalf of First Metro Securities. Okay? So how do you invest in mutual funds, no? Or yung mga funds na binanggit ni Miss Ruth, for example, the First Metro Save and Learn Equity Fund or SALEF. So what you could do is to kindly log in po muna sa ating First Metro Securities account. And then after that, from the homepage, click on the funds in the upper right-hand corner of the platform. This will redirect you to the FundSmart homepage. Ayan. So once you land on the FundSmart, you get to see all of the funds under our partners, just like FAMI. So it's good to have many choices, many options as well, no? But we need to have the right tools so we can easily choose the funds that best fit our investing needs. Actually, yung FundSmart natin, it empowers investors with tools for whether you want to analyze your screen or even compare mutual funds so we can make informed investment decisions. So if you scroll down below, you can actually look at the First Metro Save and Learn Equity Fund or SALEF. SALEF po yung fund code, and you just have to click on the fund. Okay, so the fund profile page helps you to understand a specific fund better. So you can view actually your risk rating, the fund type, minimum and additional investment, minimum holding period, meron din tayong performance chart, top holdings, and fund allocation. So if you want to invest in this fund, the subscribe button is easily accessible on the top right side portion of the page. So clicking this will redirect you to the instruction page. So simply enter yung instruction details by indicating the fund code and the amount you'd like to invest, then click subscribe. Okay, so to confirm your instruction, you just need to input your password and click confirm. Okay, so in just few easy steps, actually, no, you can invest on those funds. So actually with FundSmart, you can invest without the sales load and transaction fees because the friction costs are not passed into the investor but rather paid by the fund. Okay? Now yung sinabi ni Miss Ruth na if you want to invest in long term, no, is there a simple strategy that's easy to implement? Okay? Meron po tayong tinatawag na peso cost averaging. So all you need to do is to invest a fixed amount regularly regardless of market trend. So whether aakyat or bababa yung market, you can do this either twice or once a month consistently. At the same time, yung peso cost averaging might sound easy to execute at first, though, pero sometimes it's challenging to maintain the discipline consistently. So what you can do if you want to save yourself time and effort in growing your portfolio, you just need to automatically invest in mutual funds through our voluntary investment program or tinatawag natin na VIP. Actually, in VIP, it encourages disciplined investing, provides automatic diversification, and less hassle na yung investing. At the same time, no need to post buy orders. At the same time, yung invest natin, you can redeem and sold. Okay? So to get started, you just need to decide on 3 things. So first is how much to invest. Second is how frequent it may be, once or twice. Third is where to invest. Kung ano po yung mutual funds na ating investan. Okay? So just fund your account regularly and the amount will be deducted automatically from your buying power on the debit date. Debit date po, it may be monthly or bi-monthly or the 50th or the 30th of the month. Okay? At the same time, with First Metro Securities, you can view your profile using the laptop, tablet, even your mobile phones. At the same time, if you have a trading account with us, you can access with the PSE stocks. We have real estate investment trust. We also have mutual funds, UITFs, bonds, and also exchange traded funds. So for those who are interested to open an account and invest in FAMI funds, actually before medyo challenging yung pag-open ng mga trading account at saka maraming paperwork. But now with First Metro Securities, with the comfort of your home, actually hindi mo na kailangan lumabas. You can open a First MetroSec account via the website or the mobile app or yung First MetroSec Go. Yung website po natin is www.firstmetrosec.com.ph. Our mobile app is First MetroSec Go. If you have Android, meron po sa Google Play. And for the Apple App Store, meron din siya. Or just simply scan the QR code na nasa screen niyo po. And what you can do is once nasa website na kayo or sa mobile app, click sign up and accomplish lang natin yung forms na nasa online na and upload the required documents. At the same time, for faster processing of your account opening application, please use the seminar/the event code FAMI para malaman namin na galing po kayo dito na webinar. Okay? So for your reference, let me just show you a short video on how to open your First MetroSec account via our mobile app.
Trading on the go? Here's First MetroSec Go for you. Easily open your account today with this app. You can download the First MetroSec Go app through Play Store or App Store for free. If you already have it on your device, simply open the app and click Sign Up Now. Next, you need to create a user ID, read and agree to the terms, and provide these information. Once you're done, click the link on the email verification sent. Now, let's complete your account application. First, input your account information. Then, provide your user information. Next, accomplish the investor profile form. Almost there! Read and agree to the terms and conditions. Then click Agree. You will then receive your reference number through the app. Don't forget to save this number because you will need it for your initial deposit. Next, upload or take a photo of these requirements. 1 valid ID, 3 signatures on a piece of white paper, proof of address, and proof of bank account. If you're self-employed, there are additional requirements. Now let's fund your account. You can make your initial deposit through bills payment, online fund transfer, over-the-counter deposit, or remittance. The minimum 5,000 pesos or $100 can be used to invest in stocks, funds, and bonds. There is no maintaining balance required. Next, you will need to verify your identity. Simply take a photo of your ID and take a selfie. You're all set. An email confirmation will be sent to you in 2 to 3 business days. Happy trading! For more information, visit our help center at help.firstmetrosec.com.ph. All the options and convenience within your reach through International Finance's best online broker and best online trading platform for 4 years in a row. With FirstMetroSec, it's your future first.
Ayan, so feel free to connect with us with our main website. Again, no, it's www.firstmetrosec.com.ph. In our social media channels as well, you can search our handle at FirstMetroSec, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Viber communities. And for those who want to watch yung mga past webinars namin, naka-upload na yung iba sa ating YouTube channel. And for the account request for our existing clients naman, updates or access concerns, you can email na lang the customer service at firstmetrosec.com.ph. Ayan, for our market education, no, for the customized, gamified, and award-winning market education programs exclusively designed for your companies or even your organization, just send us a formal invite at marketeducation@firstmetrosec.com.ph. Ayan, but before we approach the end of our webinar, no, let's have a live Q&A with our speakers. We have si Sir Reggie, and you can ask questions. Actually, yung mga nasa present niya, yung market outlook, and also yung mga strategy. I think some of the questions are in the Q&A na, no? So for those, again, simply write them down in the designated Q&A section of the platform, and we'll try to get through as many as possible during the allotted time. And for those na hindi po namin ma-entertain and hindi namin ma-raise, but because of the time constraints, we'll try to answer them offline. Okay? Let me check our Q&A. Ayan. So, for the first question, actually, ito yung isa sa mga part na present ni Miss Ruth, no? Pero this one, Sir Reggie, can you give insights to what degree does the PSE follow the S&P 500 index?
So in terms of correlation, it's not actually a perfect correlation with the S&P index since the different constituents of the S&P index vastly differ from what we have in the local. Like for example, for the tech companies, they do not earnings from tech companies do not translate to performance for our own index. So, but what greatly translates to from the S&P index to our local index is actually risk sentiment. So, if there's actually risk on sentiment or investors are more willing to take on more risk, so they invest on riskier assets. So if you see optimism in the S&P index, it actually flows into other markets such as emerging markets such as the Philippines. So when we see a rally or strong performance in the major indices, it actually flows also to our index. And then for the other way around, if there's actually fear or uncertainty, and we see a sell-off in the S&P index or other major indices in the developed markets, this also spills over to the emerging markets as foreign investors sell off their equity position due to fears or uncertainties in the price of equities.
Thank you, Sir Reggie. Next question would be, I will take this one. I don't have an account with Metro Bank, only with other banks, no, like RCBC or BPI. Does that make my application for First Metro Securities different? Actually, di siya masyado different, ma'am. Maybe meron lang tayong konting difference in settlement since we're right under the Metro Bank group. So medyo faster yung settlement. Pero difference lang siya in additional 1 banking day. Okay? Next question, sir. Comments on proposed minimum wage hike. I think this is one of the recent news, no? How will this affect the market?
So overall, this would actually have a negative impact on the market. Even though increasing the minimum wage across the whole country will increase discretionary spending for the general population, this will actually impose more inflationary pressures for the corporations, as increasing the minimum wage will also entail passing on the additional cost to the consumers or customers, which increase overall prices of goods, of services. So this will actually increase our inflation when this is passed. So what the BSP is actually doing, diba, is when they raised their policy rates last year, is to temper inflation. So this will be actually, it will increase inflation, which, will be in the overall negative impact for the market.
Thank you, Sir Reggie. Next inquiry. Actually, this is account opening, no? So for those who are interested to open a joint or interest na account, actually you can do this using our main website. So only individual accounts lang po can be created using our mobile app. Okay. Next question, Sir Reggie, does it also consider the time value of money after 10 years?
Sorry, regarding what?
Does it also consider the time value of money after 10 years?
The investment in mutual funds, or
I think
Yeah.
mutual funds ito, sir.
I think not. What really is the basis of your returns for mutual funds is your starting NAV PS, and then the difference between upon redemption of your in the final NAV PS. That's going to be the absolute return in your investments, and then to get the time value, you just get compute the time value of money based on your total investment horizon. The total investment only account for absolute return.
Thank you, Sir Reggie. And I think wala pa mang questions, no? Pero I think one more question more on the mutual funds, sir. Sir Reggie, are mutual funds or equity funds safer than individual stocks? And how can I manage the risk associated with investing them?
So in terms of risk, you still have market risk for both, as they are both invested in the stock market. But in terms of your overall risk, there is less in the equity funds, equity mutual funds, as you also have a diversification benefit, as the fund manager invests in different securities and sectors, which will reduce your overall risk as compared to investing in only a few stocks, where you expose yourself to only a few names and a few sectors, which does not, in terms of correlation, may not provide significant diversification benefits.
Thank you, Sir Reggie. One question from, I think I can answer this one. How can I invest in bonds directly through FirstMetroSec? Actually, we do send an update sa ating mga social media channels for those na meron pong offering for the bond. Recently, we participated in the retail treasury bond. So may mga instructions for that to. So actually medyo complicated ng konti, pero it's easier for the online naman. Okay? One last na lang siguro, Sir Reggie, I think dito related sa presentation, no? I think some of the attendees are curious why you had a career with money market, no, coming from BS Physics.
So my undergraduate course was actually BS Physics minor in finance, so somewhat related to it's actually geared towards the finance industry. It just applies some concepts in the physics to applications to the finance sector.
Thank you so much, Sir Reggie. I think wala na tayong questions, no? So that sums up our webinar actually. So thank you so much for the questions from our attendees. And of course, our speakers, we have Sir Reggie and Miss Ruth. All right. So to our attendees, no, let me just share my screen. Okay, so we also value your feedback. You can share your thoughts and experiences with us by scanning the QR code and answering our feedback form. Our chat moderator will also provide the link. Your input is essential in helping us improve our services and better meet your needs. So we appreciate your contribution and look forward to implementing positive changes based on your valuable feedback. So while our attendees is answering our feedback survey, may we request some parting words na lang po from our guest speaker, Sir Reggie?
So yeah, for parting words. So compared to last year, at least we have a clear view of where the markets are heading. We have seen inflation tempering, even though there are some upside risks. But I think the overall outlook for the Philippine market is positive, and at least we'll have some reprieve compared to the previous years, and may we enjoy better returns for 2024.
Okay, thank you, Sir Reggie. So there you have it. No, once again, on behalf of First Metro Securities Brokerage Corporation, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to First Metro Asset Management Incorporation for gracing us with their time and presence, both to Sir Reggie and Miss Ruth. It is truly an evening well spent. Thank you also to everyone who attended tonight. Last time I checked, it peaked around 73, no? So I hope everyone was happy and also learned a lot, and that these insights and lessons will make your investment journey not just more profitable, but also more enjoyable. We hope to see you again in our future learning events, because over here at First Metro Securities, we put your future first. Have a great evening, everyone. Keep safe, and thank you everyone for the thank yous din sa ating chat box. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.